Okay, I'm going to start on making that little high-speed drill holder for my tailstock for my lathe. And what I'm going to do is I want to take and dial in one of my dead centers here, Morse taper, and I'm trying to figure out a way of putting it in here so that I can turn my cross slide and dial this taper in. And I was going to put a center in here like that, but I need to take and have some way for this to ride in the center also. So I'm going to take a bolt, just a bolt, and center drill that. So what I'm going to do is put a center drill in here and then slide this up here and then just center drill it, and then I will put a center in there and then put that between centers. So I need to put a different collet in here. So I put a center drill in. I'll take the collet out. I'll set that right there for now. And I got a center drill here. And we'll see. That collet right there. Let's put that in there. I'm trying to hold the camera and do this. Isn't the easiest thing. I don't know if the threads caught it or not. I think it did. Snug it up and tight. Flip the lever if I can. Okay. And then we're gonna kick that up to about 1,000 RPM. So we want to go 2. Let's see. Again, I'm trying to do this, shift this over the camera here. Okay, so we're at 2C. Whoop. That looks good. And we'll slide this up here. I'm going to take and make that as short as I can. And here we go. I'm just going to take it. It's just an old bolt that I got in my drill truck. And I'm not going to take it out of the drill truck until I'm done dialing in. Okay. Have a nice good center on it. Now we'll take this back out. I don't think that hole... Oh, yeah, that hole will fit that center drill. So, slide that up here. How am I going to do this one-handed? Put that in the... Just a second, I'm going to set you down. And then I want the small end of that side. There we go. There we go. Now I can turn my compound around. I don't know if I'll have enough stroke, but that's okay. I can turn part of it and turn and blend it together, and I can get it from there. So I need to loosen up the bolts here and flip it around. Flip my compound around. I need to get wrenches and get an indicator set up, and when I get that going, I will come back. I got a travel indicator over here, and I took the needle off and I put a flat end on it. That way it doesn't have to be exactly on center line of this taper. It'll pick up the high spot as I go across. Otherwise, I would have, the smaller needle I would have had, the closer I would have had to be to the center. But this has got a flat on it, so it should pick it up. I'm going to take and put you in a little tripod here. And let's see if I can set you up here somewhere. And I think you can kind of see that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to crank up there and see I'm all the way in. So I'm going to start down here. And I'm just going to crank it in. I'm getting close here. Not sure if I'll be able to. I'll have to move the travel indicator forward. And we'll get down to this end here. And we'll go one time around to 0. I'll move the 0 over here so that the camera picks up. Okay, so we're on 0 right there. And now I'll back this out and see what we get. Okay. So it looks like this end has got to go that way. Well, she's going to be, I can get a big chunk of it, and then I'll have to do it in two setups, though, the way it looks. I'm going to need to get something to tap that with. Soften out. I might have to loosen up my, I just barely snugged the, might have to loosen them up a little bit. And that was all the way around one time. You know, it wasn't even touching there. All right, we're at 20. I'm going to crank it all the way into the 0. We're at 0 again. Oh, crap. That's too loose. See what I did? I cranked the handle and this is a little bit too loose. Can't have it that loose, otherwise I won't never get there. All right, try it again. But first you don't succeed. Okay, so there's 0. Give up, right? No. All right, why is that turning? I've got 2 magnets under here. I might have to switch these around to give me more height. Back this up again. A little bit of dinking around here, but I wish I had a taper attachment so you could just loosen the cross slide up and let it follow a cam or a bar on the back. You know, that wouldn't be such a bad idea to do a project doing that. I'd have to figure out a way of disengaging my lead screw nut, or the cross slide nut. All right, let's try this again. So we're going heavier and heavier. So I'm used to, at work we have a taper attachment. Makes it a lot nicer. Plus you can do a long taper and not have to do it in steps. Still going up. I don't know if you can see the indicator on the camera or not. Still going up. Putting it on 0 every time after I, still going up. It's getting better. I'll cut it in about half of what we were. Zero. there's a high spot on that. Okay, so that means I went too far. It's like right here, it tapers back down, so this taper is not a true, this is where it locks though, so, and this part of it sticks out, so we'll start right there, 0. Now we're going to go the other way. Okay. How do I do this here? Okay. Yeah, let's put this on 0 again. 0. So it drops about 10 thousandths over that. So that might have been too much. All right, it's close. There's 0. Fourth thou. So I'm going to go back the other way, just using just a couple little tabs here. We are within 1/1000th now. So it actually dropped about 1 thou, so that might have been, that was too much. Zero. About 1 thou. Let's see, that the thou heavy, so it's got to go that away. One little tab. And oh, look at that. It's within a couple tenths. I'm going to lock it there. And then I'm going to run it back and forth a couple times again. Okay. Yeah, it's still within a couple tenths on the dial here. I'm just going to get it right on the line. Right on the line here. And going in. It ain't even a couple tenths, it's within a tenth now, according to the indicator. And this indicator is always, even though it looks like it's a Craftsman, it's probably about 42 years old or 43 years old, over 40 years old, but it's always been, treated me really well. It's always been right on to what I want. So now that we got this set at the same taper as this, we will have a blank piece of, just a piece of it. Actually, this is an old axle that I'm going to use, and I'll end up cutting the taper right there, starting back here somewhere, and I will cut it until I get this back dimension where I want it, probably up about here somewhere. You know, and so I'm going to actually put a collet in instead of putting a center in, and put this in a collet, and then put the other end. I've already drove and put a center in it. So we'll take this out. This is like our standard here that we used, and take this collet back out. collets. I only have I bought a few of the, well, I think I bought 16ths. And sometimes it bites me because I don't have the right one. Thought I had one for this laid out. Okay, yeah, it's just an old, this one here is an old junky one that actually will work for it. So we take and stick that in there, that in here, poke out just a little bit. I'm letting the threads poke out beyond a little bit so that I got a runoff spot to run the tool bit off. There we go. I don't need that in there no more. I'm going to leave the screw in there though, just in case. It's drilled on center. And I don't know if do I want to put a dead center in? I'll put a carbide. This is a carbide tipped dead center. And put some high pressure lube. Put a dab of that on there so it doesn't seize up. Are you still seeing the whole thing? Yeah, you are. So now I got to put my tool post tool holder back on. Come on. Right about there. This out. And put in a turning tool. Something to turn with. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn that all the way forward. Get over here. Okay, I'm going to have to put that tool bit out. I have to extend that tool bit out so that this handle can get by the tailstock, or slide this forward some more, one or the other. I'll get the tool bit out as far as I can first. And I think I will turn this around. I'm going to do is turn the nut around on the bottom, go the other way, so we can come forward a little further. We can actually hang off of the okay, and up there, be able to clear it. Everything is going to be pretty tight. I might have to put the live center in order to get there. I have to stay back at least that far. I can move this ahead quite a ways yet. There, that's where the nut is even on the bottom. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to put the live center in. The only reason I wanted to put the dead center in is the dead center will actually run slightly truer than a live center will. Never realized, in case you never realized that, but it does. It ain't much, but they do run a little truer. All right. First thing I want to do is turn this down to this dimension here, which is, I could have looked up the degrees, but that wouldn't have been gotten me close enough, you know, for the Morse taper. But that would have not gotten, it would not have been close enough for it to lock in. So we got about a 950 diameter. So that's what I want to turn here. I don't know how hard this is, this stuff. I know that I used some axle material before, and it seemed like it was pretty nice material, so we're going to give her a whirl. I don't want to go 1,000 though. I'll probably go 600 to 800, 600. We'll go 600. It's running out, but that doesn't matter for the rod on the center. Oh, I can run my box now. I'm running my new power feed over there. I did want to mount this up here somewhere though. I'm not going to get this all done tonight. I just want to turn this diameter up, maybe take 1 or 2 light cuts on the paper and see where I'm at. I don't want to rush this. I want to get it right. Okay, got a long ways to go. We're going to take 20, 40, we're going to take 60 thou. Just a dab of cutting oil there. I think the axle material is some, I'm not sure if it's 4140 or, but it is, I know that it is a tool steel. But this stuff does turn pretty nice, actually. It doesn't get hot, or didn't so far. We've got a long list to go yet. 20, 40, 50, another 60 thou. I could have ordered more taper blank for this, but what's the fun in that? Some of you will know what I'm talking about out there. I'd much rather make it yourself than buy it. To me, it's, I don't know, it's just a If I can make it myself, I'd rather make it, even if it is a little work. I find that that same holds true when I'm working on little engines. I've been in the past offered certain details for motors and stuff, and that's fine and dandy, but I'd like to be able to say at the end of the day that nope, I made all of it myself. It's just a personal thing. Okay, so now we're running into problems because I'm running into this. I don't have enough on my cross line. I'm going to have to find a tool bit that's a little longer than that. So that means I might have to go to a high-speed bit instead of a carbide tipped. I don't think this is any longer. Well, it might be a little longer. I could move this out a little more yet and cheat. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this out. This tool post I made myself. I drew it up, drew the drawings up and drew everything up, and I modeled it off of a Harding, so it's a knockoff of a Harding, because the Harding tool post holder is, I had really good luck with that at work. I mean, it's on a tooling machine, and there's a reason for it. It's a very accurate tool holder, and plus with making the female end in the tool post rather than the male end, now all your tool holders, they're so easy to make because this is an easy cut, where that's kind of a pain in the butt. So here you only got to do that pain in the butt cut twice and you're done, and you can make tool holders over and over and over. I've got blanks laying around here that I haven't finished, that if I want to make another one, I just put in the slot or the hole for the boring bar or whatever I want to use it for. But that's one of the advantages, but I find it to be very accurate because it's pushing it and holds the tool stout, because it pushes it back against this surface all the time. So anyway, I like it. I do have the drawings for it if anybody actually wants to build one. So that was stashed somewhere. 40, there's another 60,000. I don't know how long my camera battery is hold out. It's got one bar left. Someday I want to put flood coolant on this lathe. I keep saying that. Sweet. Smoking myself out of here. Oh, there went that sleeve. That knob that was on there was actually a sleeve. The last of that sleeve just came off. Actually, getting pushed along, the last of it. You can see the last of that sleeve is getting pushed along. It's not really coming off there. Okay, let's see where we're at now. Doesn't have to be exact, just close, because this end is going to stick out of the. So we're about 25, about 40 thou bigger than what the bought and the one that came with the lathe. So now I'm going to try to cut that. Just take a cut on the taper here a little bit. Let's see. I want to turn my tool bit that way a little bit. Turn it that way. A little more. Alright. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to back out. Actually, I want to drop off of here. So I'm going to crank it up to there. I'm going to set and zero out my travel dial back here. Now, back it out of here. And let's see what we get. Probably sharpen that tool bit up a little bit. Yeah, I think I will. Put a little on the dull side there. Touch it up over here on my carbide grinder. I just touched it up. I left it a square corner. I didn't put no radius on it. Better, much better. Camera's still going. Thought she'd be out of reach by now. Okay, now I'm going to crank the RPM up a little bit. I'm going to kick it up to 1,000. And I'm going to go in about 10,000. Okay, I'm going to take the tool out of there, and I'm going to just buff it a little bit with some 320 grit paper. Not the best finish, but it's not that bad. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to back this out. Take my center out. And that's kind of warm yet. Not warm now. I was just saying how it didn't get warm on cutting that outside off. She's a little toasty. Blow some air on it here a little bit to cool it off. Okay. And if I'm close, I'm going to get some Prussian glue. So I'm going to crank this out a ways because I got this big stub on the end of it here. Oop. You know what? That locks in there pretty damn nice. I need to get some Prussian blue on it. Yeah, there's no wiggle, no slop in it, so. So I got the taper set the way I want, the way it looks. I'm going to take a few more cuts, clean that up, and bring this down over here, because right now we're actually only loading on about that much of it because the cut ended right there. So if you take a center and put that up there, we got a ways to go, because there it's locking on about that far right there. So got a little ways to go. But like I say, I think I'm going to get sharpen that tool bit again. This time put a break a radius on it. Put a radius on it a little bit. Come on. Trying to clamp the collet. There we go. And put the center back in. And where's my tool bit at? Where did I set that at? Oh, here. Find the camera. You can see I didn't put no radius on. This time I'm gonna go touch it up, and then I'm gonna take my diamond file, or even just do it right on the wheel here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I pressed a little bit of a radius on there. Okay, I didn't move my carriage, but I did move that. But I got it back pretty darn close, I think. And we'll see what we get. Red dicum here. Just going to dike them it up a little bit. That way we'll be able to see where it's cutting and where it's not. And should be able to crank her back. I want to be cutting going forward. I don't want to cut going back. Even though I let it drag back, I should have cranked it out. Now I'm not getting all the way to the end, but that's okay. I'll come back and clean that up. I'm just about to where I want it. Next cut will be the last cut for the length. now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dicom that end again. And we'll blend that end in. Okay. So what we're going to do is take light cuts here. I'm going to move the saddle down now. And I'm going to back this out and I'm going to bring it in and slowly cut that away. You can see it when it just starts to cut the dicom if you watch the end of the tool bit. So you're out here, you can crank it in, and you can actually see cutting the dicom right there. Right there. That should be blended right in. That should do it. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to polish that good with some emery paper again. This slot that's in there, this keyway slot, that's not going to hurt a thing. See what kind of emery paper I got laying around here. 320. I'm going to go with some 120 instead, and then go to 320 afterwards. So I got some 120 here now. That's going to work, I think. Okay, we're going to back her up here again. Take this out. Clamp collet. And crank that ahead away so that make sure that got no grit and crap on there from the emery paper. Wipe it nice and clean. Oops, gotta go out further. This long tang on there. No, still gotta go out further. Okay. Can't get there. Gotta cut some of this off now. I'm all the way out, and we got that far to go. Yeah, see, it's hitting the nut. So I don't want to cut too much of this off just in case I want to go back. So I'm gonna go to the bandsaw and cut that off, I think. What should I do? I hate to cut it off and then want to go back. I don't know how much it's not that much. So if I took I'm gonna go to the bandsaw and cut about ½ an inch off of the end of here and then check it. So I'll be back. Okay. I went and cut a chunk off of the end, and ta-da! Okay, so I would kind of like to make sure that that taper is fitting all the way around, although this isn't extremely critical because it's not going to be twisting action on it. It's just got to hold my little finger drill press, or whatever you want to call it, in line. I do have some Prussian blue, but it kind of oozed out everywhere. This stuff is such a mess to work with. I'm going to take a Q-tip and see if I can't spread some on there and kind of see. Once you get this stuff on you, it spreads like. I'm just going to get a line up it just to see if. I think I got it far enough on there. And I'm just going to slide it in there and then give it a twist. Maybe. Alright, I need the pliers. What did I do with my pliers? Here it is. I just want to give it a twist while I'm putting pressure on it. And then get it back out of there. Now you can see that it's touching all the way, so it's a good taper. So now I'm going to cut this off and finish this end, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. Only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bandsaw this off and then go to the buffer and buff a nice edge on here, and then it'll get mounted in here, and the hole is going to get drilled, and there's going to be a sleeve in here where my whatever shaft diameter I decide to use. I don't know if I'm going to use 3/8, 7/16, or a ½ inch, and that'll ride. The drill will ride on that. If I figure everything right. My other little drill press, that works like a charm. So I was actually thinking about putting a speed control on it so that I could actually slow it down. But let's see. Lock that in. I'm just going to go ahead and put a ½ inch spot drill in here and see. I could take a chamfer on that too. Take a boring head and put a chamfer tool in, and then looking for a ½ inch spot drill. There we go. And I need a ½ inch collet. Alright, we're going to stick that in here. I don't know if I'm going to upload this video tonight or not. Oh, she's about ready to run out of juice, battery juice here. Pretty close to running out. Looks pretty good to me. Look right on center. It should be. But now, like I say, I'm going to drill a hole and bore a hole down in I'll probably go with 3/8, probably about that far down, so that I got room. Although I only need about half an inch of travel. And then I may poke a hole through here so that I can actually put it retaining pin in so that it doesn't fall apart. But anyway, that's where we're at. That's what I got done so far on the next little drill project here. But that'll go in there like that. And I haven't decided which motor I'm going to use. Whether it's this one, or it'll be mounted on there with that slide pin in it, and I'll be able to, slide. And I got a drill chuck coming. I was hoping that it would be here today to mount on here, but I could use either one of these. This one's a little bit bigger, although I don't really need a big motor. I could use this little one, and I think they both run at about the same RPM. So anyway, they're permanent magnet motors. They're nice little motors. They come out of various things. Some of them came out of tape decks, some of them came out of cassette players. So I guess that's going to be it for now until tomorrow. And tomorrow I've got a job coming in, so I don't know how much I'll be able to work on my own stuff. It will have to be after I finish up. I promised a person that I'd do a little job for him, and I don't think he'll let me video it, or I don't think he'll want me to video it. So anyway, and it's a mill job, so I don't have to set the lathe back. I'm going to leave that taper and everything set, because I might just cut another taper now that I have it set, just to have another blank laying here. And like I said, I could have bought a blank, but what's the fun in that? I've got one now that's per my spec, the way I want, and it's going to work just fine. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.